Hello and happy almost Christmas week. We are going live here on LinkedIn to talk a little bit about some more Money Monday topics. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about margins. This is something that I keep talking about ad nauseum in different realms and different places. We've had some newsletters about it. I know I've talked about this on the podcast, but this is definitely a different platform. We're getting different people to kind of watch us over here on LinkedIn and join in on the videos. So I wanted to just give a little short one today to talk to you about margin percentage goals that you might want to be setting for your apparel brand. So first of all, there are a couple different things that are really key for you to understand when you're setting margin goals. First of all, there are kind of two different ways that you can be selling into the market. The first way is we call basically B2B, business to business. You're selling wholesale. So if you're a wholesale company, you will make your goods, you will sell them to either a specialty run shop or a specialty bike shop, or if you're a fashion brand, you might sell into Macy's, and then that store will actually sell to the customer. And in those kinds of instances, you want to make sure that you are sharing profits with your wholesale partner so that you're both kind of getting a win-win situation. You want to make sure that you're making about 50% on your margin percentage points so that you can also give them about 50% on their margin percentage points. So for example, if you feel like you can sell a garment for $100, you would be selling it to your wholesaler for $50, and then they would be selling it to the customer for $100. That would get you your 50%. Now, a lot of times that's going to come down to your cost. You want to be at that rate. If you're going to be selling to your wholesaler, your target cost when you've landed it in your warehouse, you've put all the packaging on, you've done all the things, you probably want to be around $25 for that garment. And so that would get you your 50% when you sell it to them for $50. Now, on the flip side of that, if you aren't selling to wholesale and you've decided not to add that into your sales strategy for your company, which is something that we actually recommend to our clients. Sometimes we'll tell them to wait to do wholesale until they've really got their direct to consumer or D2C business kind of up and running, because the D2C margins that you're going to be getting are going to be a lot higher if you're selling direct to your consumer. So this is either direct off of your website. If you have a Shopify store, this is coming direct from you to them. Maybe you have a warehouse that you're paying for. Maybe you're fulfilling orders on your own out of your own home or something like that. You definitely then you gain all of the profit. So you're not actually having to pass it on to a wholesaler or a middleman. And so what you want to do there is you want to be aiming for at least a 65% margin on your garments when you're selling direct to consumer. And the reason for that is because it starts to get you closer to that 50% target if and when you decide to go wholesale. So if you've started to really drum up business direct to consumer, you've gotten a really good following, you've got some repeat customers coming in, that could be time for you to start to diversify your sales strategy and go out and add wholesale to your kind of portfolio. And what that does is it helps other retailers sell your goods. And so you have more exposure to the world. So instead of everyone needing to come find your website or your shop, you're also allowing them to maybe find you in REI or find you in a Roadrunner Sports or find you in Macy's. And so that's what gives you more exposure. It kind of allows your brand to get out into the world maybe a little bit faster if you're doing wholesale. However, it is more difficult on your bottom line doing the wholesale. So that's why we tend to suggest starting to build that community on your own, getting those direct to consumer margins on your and then into your profits. So the profits that you're raking in are much, much higher. You're able to kind of turn those profits into more inventory, better sales before you start to think about selling wholesale. There are some companies that do the complete opposite. They want that big exposure first. So they build their product completely around needing wholesale margins right up front, right out of the gate. That is their plan. They want to sell into wholesale right away. There have been definitely different people that I've talked to on the podcast. If you were listening to the Kelly Roach podcast, that's something she said she wished she would have done right away, like while she was developing her apparel and building up her social media accounts and building community for her apparel line. She wishes that she had started to go get wholesale accounts right away. And she wished she would have cost everything at that point to make sense for wholesale and direct to consumer. And a lot of that is going to depend on what you want to do for your brand. Now, if you're getting a really, really healthy wholesale margin, when you do sell direct to consumer, you're probably going to be bringing in closer to a 75% margin. But those really balance each other out. So when you're combining your wholesale and you're combining your direct to consumer, you end up seeing a balance of around 60 to 65% for your entire brand. And what you want to do is decide, and every brand is different, but you need to decide what your healthy weighted margin is going to be. And then you need to decide what percentage of your business is going to go to wholesale and what percentage is going to stay direct to consumer. So, what if that inventory that you're buying, are you going to keep on your own books to sell directly from your own website to boost your profitability, to counterbalance what you're selling into wholesale and taking kind of a hit on when it comes to profitability? So, those are the kinds of things that you want to be looking at. If you're throwing it into your spreadsheet, what I tend to suggest is that you have a line for your direct to consumer sales, like how many units you want to keep on your own books for that, what the percentage of the margin is going to be, what the profitability is going to be, and then take that same style on a line below in your spreadsheet and then calculate out the wholesale dollars for that. So, what are your profit margins when you're selling into wholesale? How many units are you reserving to sell to a wholesale partner? And then when you roll all of that up into your weighted margin, if it can hit your target goal of a profit margin for your business, then you know you're in good shape. And so then you should know your mix. Like, do you want to do 60%, 40% wholesale versus direct to consumer, or the opposite? Which do you need to do to feel like you're a healthy company? Which do you need to do to make sure that you feel like the profits that are coming into your company are going to feed your next purchase order, feed your next inventory, so that you're not constantly looking for business loans, you're not constantly feeling like you're in debt? Those kinds of things should start to exponentially grow, and you should start to see your profits really do the work for your company. If you need help understanding any of this a little bit more, please reach out. You can definitely put comments below. We would love to chat more with you about how this all works out in a business plan, or how this could all work out for your company. And if you have any other questions, or if you have a Money Mondays topic that you'd like for me to touch on in the next several weeks, please let me know. We are probably going to be taking the next couple of weeks off to celebrate the Christmas holiday and the New Year holiday. So you may not see Monday Mondays again until we are in the new year, but we will be back at that time with some new topics, some new subjects. And again, if you have a special one that you want us to cover, make sure to send it in and we will be sure to cover it for you. All right, have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great week ahead. Have a great holiday, great next 2 weeks, and we will see you in the new year. Talk soon.